Hey everyone, this is Louis7, and today I'm going to be exploring the Erebor housing in the Lord of the Rings Online, which is in beta at the time of recording this video for the first round. Now, I will point out the beta says it is for update 32. I don't know if this means that Erebor housing is intended actually for update 32, or if that's just what they're calling this preview. But anyway, for some brief details, the beta lasts from December 14th to the 16th, and I don't know exactly when this video will be up, but that is when the beta is. Alright, so after a little bit of work, I was able to travel to the Erebor housing neighborhood. The name is just TBD122 now, and I'm at the far-ranging stable master here. But my general strategy for this, if I open the map, which this is what it looks like, is to travel probably clockwise, starting at the stable master and going through here. Now, I will point out the housing neighborhood seems to be very vertical, much like actually the Deep's Crave zone in Gundabad. So I know there's an elevator in the southern side. I did pass that while actually going here, and we will take a look at that and all the other things in this quite fancy looking area. So we will go ahead and do that, but something to point out, I believe this is going to be new in this update, is the VIP rewards will be in the neighborhood. Maybe that is already the case, but I remember seeing something about that. Just more, maybe it was more town services. Anyway, as we are exploring here, I did want to point that out. So in general, I need to go west to get, I mentioned I would go clockwise, and I can't actually tell what all our houses are, all like the green circles houses. I'm not actually entirely sure. So that's something I will have to explore here. So this looks maybe like the entrance to the housing neighborhood is what I would have to guess. I don't know where this is on the outside, actually. Currently, I had to go to the Isengard Tavern to travel here. So moving on, here is Auction House and Bank. Okay, so that doesn't really help us right now. If I go down, actually, I can swim in the gold, I think. Oh, it's actually like that. Okay. I thought it would have the water animation. They have a unique animation for it. You can hear the gold rattling, and yeah, you can see a little bit of gold. If I zoom like way in, can maybe see it better, but yeah, that is what is going on there. So that is pretty neat that you can swim in the gold like that. That definitely seems like something a dwarf would want to do. Louis Den's just a pretend elf. He's really a dwarf in disguise. All right, so we found 0 houses and we swam in gold. So here we can go up. Again, there's an elevator, but I'm actually not sure if it's at this level. Let's see. The elevator's right here. There might be more elevators for all I know, but I will go ahead and just take some steps up for now because it doesn't look like there's much else I can do there. So yeah, we're getting closer. Getting higher up. Now this almost looks like a little courtyard area. Oh yeah, this is something I am reminded of. Also in the notes is you can now play chess and checkers. I don't know if there's a way that is functional, but that is a thing, I believe. But this is the board for that. And there's a lot of spectator benches and tables and the such here. Oh yeah, so here's the elevator. Okay, so I did have somebody who invited me to a kin and gave permission so we can actually look more detailed at one of the houses, but yeah, this is the elevator. I don't know which floor we're actually on, so if I go to the elevator, turn floating names on, you can see there's a Causeway Overlook and Lower Causeway. If we go down to Lower Causeway, this is actually the level I was initially at. You can see this little bridge type structure. This is a pretty massive bridge, but it goes all the way across to the end of the neighborhood area, and it has a bunch of cross paths here. So maybe we could actually check that out. I know this is a little bit hectic, but I am exploring all this for the first time, and at least my intention for the video was that half the point was kind of getting the general reaction and just seeing the whole thing. This is pretty massive clearing actually here. Dwarves live in quite fancy areas. At least these dwarves. Assuming it's dwarves that live here. I mean, there could be elves. Hey, here's a house. We actually found one. So if I go right here, this is the first house I've come across. I think that is a house, but I clearly have not gotten there yet. That's the first house I was actually thinking I would get to. If I point that way, that's back to the elevator, by the way. There's also, it looks like I missed one of these. I don't know how that happened, but Oh, that, yeah, just led upstairs. Okay. So yes, on my feet in. Here's a for sale sign. I wonder, can I open the door? Oh, I can open the door. So this is 3 Wormhord Bridge. It is Wormhord Bridge, Wormhord. Okay, Dragon Horde. Can I go in the house? I actually do not know. Oh, we can go in the house. Wow. Okay, cannot toggle decoration mode. So this is a premium house. So just for a little bit of information on the houses, there are going to be 12 base houses, 1 base plus house as it's called, 6 deluxe houses, and 1 kidship house. I believe the base plus house is the crystal one, if I'm remembering correctly, that one down there, at least crystal looking on the map. So here is whatever type of house this is. Is there a way to tell? This is going to be 3 Wormhord Bridge. And right here it says standard house, so that is what it is going to be. This is one of the standard houses. It has a little room on the right. Let's see, let's actually go back to the entrance. It has a little room on the right, a little room on the left, it looks like mirrored to the left there, and then it has a bigger room on the second right there. And then up it has this room, pretty tall house, I will say, for a dwarf. It feels very tall in its structure. Now this feels more dwarf size, this little hut of a room. That looks kind of like a closet type room. This would be great for storage under the steps and the such. You could also put a person there, I suppose. And going up the steps, which are somewhat narrow. Here we go. There's a lot of green. It's kind of got an emerald type look. It is reminding me, I feel like, of something, but I can't quite put my finger on it. But yeah, very emerald and green looking house if you're into that sort of thing. I also do, perhaps obviously, for people that regularly watch my content, you probably know I actually do not own a house on any server anymore in LOTRO. Some unfortunate things happened to my previous houses, but there is not a housing neighborhood that appeals to me enough that I actually want to bother to really deal with housing at the moment. But I will say, for me personally, the green is not the most appealing, but I don't necessarily dislike it. We'll see if I find something more exciting. But yeah, we explored the first base house there, so we're back at the door. One thing I was curious, I know this is going all over the place, but one thing I was curious on was the verticality of the houses. That house seemed pretty basic and just like carved into the mountain, so to speak. Right there, and I don't know above this, does that mean there's like another house right there? This is a house, that's a house, this is a house, that's a house? Or, because the house seems like it's more in the middle here, it's actually right to the right of that little green pod. Maybe that's just some random pillar and doesn't have anything to do with houses. Maybe, I guess there could be another house up there. There's also a little light on the map right there, which I find interesting. Okay. Yeah, the little green pod looking things, the emerald looking things, kind of match the location of the statues there. So that could be it as well. Let's get moving on. I will just continue on Wormhord Bridge. So if there's one house there, that's a second house there. We're looking for 12 total base houses. That's going to be number 3, that's number 4. And then we have 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 presumably, and I don't know if that's 11 and 12 at the end. There's one way to find out. Yes, I do believe that's 11 and 12 at the end. So I think all the base houses are on Wormhord Bridge. That would at least make sense. We'll go ahead and go to say another random one just to double check on that, but this is going to be the middle bridge, and let's see what this for sale sign has for us. That is a standard house. Okay, so something else you might notice is you can actually use your war steed and Erebor housing, which I find weird. I don't know if this is just a beta thing, but with the massive amount of distance you have to travel, which might be surprising for an interior housing neighborhood, it is quite convenient, I am finding. All right, so we found 12 out of the 20 total houses, I believe. So there's actually a little elevator there as well. It doesn't look to be mirrored. I like taking elevators, but to be honest, while I am exploring this in person, I actually prefer I think, to manually travel just to get a better sense of the place as a whole. Alright, so I will go up these steps here. Again, they very much so do remind me of Deep's Crave. I feel like they were designing Gundabad and then decided to do housing at the same time, which I believe Scenario actually said. In the middle of Gundabad, they started working on the housing. And it really seems like Erebor and Gundabad have a lot of similarities in terms of interior design, and I totally just ran off. Alright, so I believe at this point I am back to where I was when an unfortunate circumstance happened, and I'm actually still climbing up the steps. This set of steps goes up quite a bit. Looks like there is actually a vertical level below this, at least on the other side, which I'm suspecting has some other houses, perhaps larger houses, say something like the premium ones. So let me go ahead and see. Well, here's actually one right here, so this is perfect. Assuming this pattern holds, that would probably be 6 or 3 and 3 on each side for 6 total. That would be the 6 premium houses, I'm guessing. So for Ironfoot Road, this is going to be Ironfoot Road, and the other one is Oakenshield Way. So Ironfoot Road is, yes, the one right here. 588 Mithril coins. That seems like a lot, but I don't know if pricing is settled in the beta, and I'm honestly 0% familiar with premium housing pricing anyway. But I actually have the person in my kin and group that invited me. They actually purchased in the beta one of the Oakenshield Way houses. So they did one Oakenshield Way. So I will just head straight to that one, which is presumably at the bottom right here, and explore that. I wonder if you can get up to the catwalk somehow. That's like the catwalks in Deep's Crave is what I'm reminded of. I don't really see a way for somebody to actually travel up there, but it would be pretty neat just to get a little bit extra exploration. You might have seen in some of the B-roll footage while I was doing some random talking and intro type stuff, some footage from an area like this. But it is pretty grand. It's like, it really does have the ginormous feeling that Gundabad has as well. I know I keep drawing similarities between the two, but it's just kind of reality that they have a lot of similarities. Oh, well, this is dangerous. Alright, lesson learned, you can fall into the gold and just break your leg, apparently. If you want to quickly get down, jump into gold, I guess. Alright, we will try to get back up. Alright, so now I'm actually at the elevator in the south because this seems like the most convenient way to go back up. So hey, perfect timing to actually test that out. So Causeway Overlook, I believe that is where we already are. So if I take Causeway Overlook, no, Causeway Overlook actually takes me way up. So how do I get back down to where I was, Lower Causeway? Ah, it does appear to work that way, so I actually was mistaken in how the elevator worked. I thought if it was the one on the bottom, it would take you down one. If it was the one on the top, it would take you up one. So I assumed being already at the bottom level that this would actually do nothing, but it appears to take me to the second level. I'm guessing this one will take me all the way to the top, to the third level. That one was like Upper Overlook or something like that. So here's Causeway Overlook. Causeway Overlook is seemingly in the middle. There's a platform above me with the chest, which is going to be Upper Courtyard. That's actually what it's called. So if I go to Lower Causeway, I can go directly to the Upper Courtyard. So there are 3 vertical levels, at least with that particular elevator. And yes, here's the, I believe we already saw this, the chess, yeah, the chessboard, checkers board, whichever you prefer. I double checked, and in the patch notes it says fun neighborhood features. I don't know if this refers specifically, I think this actually does refer specifically to Erebor, because the other things refer specifically to Erebor. But there is the, it says get your friends, enemies, and spectators. The laugh was at the enemies, a little delayed. But anyway, you get them to participate in a life-size game of chess or checkers. That would be really tough. You would need, I'm trying to remember how many pieces there are even. I believe there is 3 on each side, 4, 8, 16. So I believe in both of those you need 16 on each side, which means you would need like 32 people to actually play that, unless it's a feature that's going to come into the game somehow. I'd actually kind of love to see that, even though it's a little bit odd. It would be neat to have, but it's not like at the cost of other things. Okay, anyway, we are at the premium house. This one's got a gigantically ginormous yard, which I believe you can actually lock this door to prevent people from even coming into your yard. Maybe that is a different type of house, but this is going to be the deluxe house. And yes, gigantic yard. Oh, there's a lot of, actually. Turning on decoration mode, there's a lot of things you can put in. I believe people call these hooks. There's enormous yard, there's a bunch of yards, there's huge yard. So there's, yeah, all that sort of stuff. There's another enormous yard. It'd be kind of interesting in this particular neighborhood in Erebor if you had, I don't remember if there's a Smog statue, but one I know is the Dragok statue, like a gigantic statue of a dragon. That seems like it would be a little bit odd for a particular area like this, but could also be pretty neat. There's ambient music. There's also, this looks like a little bit of a stable place. Seems perfect for goats, actually, because, you know, dwarves and the such. Perfect place for an unwelcoming mat, or if you're nicer, a welcoming mat. Hey, there's the bones of Smog. Perfect. Anyway, here's a fire pit, so I guess you can only put a fire pit there. That will remind me too much of Rohan, though, because all the mead halls just have giant fire pits in the middle. It's kind of annoying to me. You can change floor color, floor surface, wall surface. I assume it's kind of similar with other things. I actually wonder wall color, if that would change the emerald. That's pretty neat to me. There are housing things I am definitely learning today. Here's a chest. Let's see, you have shared housing storage and housing storage. Okay. Wall surface. I think I was talking a little bit earlier about wallpaper. I thought it was a thing, but I don't know what it would actually do here. Here's a light. Don't think I would have any wallpaper, unfortunately. Today's mostly about exploring the neighborhood and the such. Less so about actually, for me at least, learning about decorating the houses and the such, because that would take way too long, we'll say. You can put something ceiling up there. We're going downstairs, by the way, while I'm exploring, try to actually show where I'm navigating. Oh, you can actually go out the downstairs. So I am in the downstairs right now. Where I came in was up a floor. And there's no giant fire pit in the middle, for example, and there's a whole bunch of other decorating stuff. This is really a deluxe house. It's feeling deluxe. So are we actually a floor lower when I go out? I am a floor lower. So this house is vertical. It goes up to that floor at least, and might even go down more. We'll have to find out here. I thought it would be really neat if the houses were vertical like that after seeing the neighborhood and seeing like the potential for that. So it is pretty neat that we actually do get to see them being vertical. I hope y'all don't mind floaty names on. Normally I like to play with it off, but I have it on right now just so people can see what they can decorate and the such. So yeah, that is what is going on. Okay, so we will go, this is back to the original, I guess, first floor. We could consider the floor below this the basement. And then I would call this the second floor, the upstairs. And here we go. This is definitely the last floor. There's no side rooms or anything with this. And you can go out again, so I'm really interested in what this looks like up here. This is going to be, oh, this is a little personal balcony. It's not connected to anything else, so this is how you get up here. I believe this might be one of the higher points. Let's try to not fall off this time. One of the higher points in this. Very green, the housing again. I honestly, with Erebor, I expected it to be a little bit more teal colored, a little bit less emerald colored, and I don't know if mithril is the best way to put it, but almost more mithril colored, say. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back in, and this time I will not go in decoration mode, and I will go with, say, UI hidden, so we can get a little bit more of an immersive experience through it. I could go first person, but that might be a little bit dizzying. Okay, so we're back to the first floor. If I were just going in the first floor, we can see it has the same side rooms, it looks like, as the regular base house. Another side room here, and another bigger side room there. And then it has the 2 extra floors, so that's the pretty amazing part about this. Okay, so now that we have explored the deluxe house, we can get out, get UI back showing. I will head out and go up. I actually want to go southwest. I want to find out what that crystal thing is. Again, I think that is the base plus house, and as we travel that general direction, I will point out once again that there are 20 total houses, and we have now found 18 of them. We found 12 base houses. Oh no, I am holding up 2 fingers. 12 base houses and 6 deluxe houses. We're still looking for the base plus house and the kin house. I suspect that is the kin house, and I suspect this is the base plus house, as it's being called. Looks actually like right there. Oh, don't fall. Oh, looks like I'm falling. Well, it was bound to happen at some point. I mean, I already fell into the gold, which apparently is a feature. Take the high dive to the pile of gold. Oh, I'm in Erebor. Maybe we can find out where the neighborhood actually is. Alright, so at this point I have made it back. Unfortunately, I did not actually find the entrance to the neighborhood in Erebor, but I am back. Let's open the map and just see. Back at the southwest area and up at the premium housing, the deluxe housing area rather, the top floor. So there are steps to head down. I could have actually done that the first time, but who likes steps anyway? So this one already has a tree. I don't know if that's a player decoration or an actual feature here. Let's see, if I turn floating names on, I can't actually target it, so it's probably a feature. Now this reminds me once again of Gundabad. I guess I can just keep mentioning that. I assume this is not done and will hopefully be fixed and patched up in the future. But anyway, this reminds me of Cloven Gap because that was kind of a similar nature-y area in Gundabad. Somewhat similar. So here is the gate, but there's a giant pit in the way. Oh, there's a giant pit in the way, but you can just like float across it. How convenient. And here's the door. This one is, oh, actually also owned by the person in my kin. This is a crystal house. That is definitely the case. Looks pretty neat. There's tons of crystals here. I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, it's definitely neat. Very unique. It seems odd that this would be a base plus house because it seems like plus 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 to me, just based on that exterior. I'm guessing the inside is basically the same as a base house. Oh no, this room is full of crystals too. I feel like this is going to be a competitive house as like in terms of people wanting it. Oh, I can turn on decoration mode here. Here's the little closet. So yeah, pretty much the same as the base house, except the giant crystal room and again, the outside. So this one is pretty neat. And now we can go from here and go all the way north, taking in the scenic area of Erebor, and I will try to summarize some of my personal thoughts. So again, as you all know, I'm not the most, say, housing-oriented player of LOTRO. That said, I find player houses and what people do with their houses to be pretty neat, and just exploring a new area. And LOTRO is, of course, exciting to me, and this is a new area, even if it's a housing neighborhood area. Oh, that's crafting and vendors. They seem to have jammed like a lot of supply stuff, I guess, in the southwest and southeast. So it seems kind of a little bit odd. There's also the fact that the like landscape here definitely does not seem finished. So that's just something I'm having to adjust to as we go throughout this, but I think I'll take the steps up. I already took the other set of steps up, so we'll go up different ones just for variety's sake. But yeah, continuing on with my thoughts, I definitely think Erebor is pretty neat and unique. I don't exactly remember what Thorns looks like, but I don't remember it looking anything like this. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I thought it was a little bit more cave-like and almost a little bit more, say, Moria-like than Erebor. This looks entirely like 100% built. There's not much exposed rock or exposed cavern or anything like that, like it was freshly dug out or anything. This looks like a long-standing Dwarven structure, Dwarven neighborhood. And Yeah, definitely pretty neat to me. I did not expect the green, so it's actually, well, it's not, say, my favorite color or even theme for something. It is definitely pretty neat. I do like the crystals. This is, just for reference, a little bit more of what I was expecting. This little tealish color you can see in the crystal, almost like I described mithril color. So here is one entrance. I don't know if there are two entrances. This is the kin house we are up to. So you go up like I did through that little sector, and then you could go up all those steps to get up here. There is a door on that side. I'm guessing it is symmetrical with this side. You'll have two fancy doors. Yep, here's another door for your kin house. Here are some fantastic dwarf statues guarding your house, and more statues of dwarves, and you even have your own pool of gold. Hey, here are some goats. I assume that is put in by the person in my group. Here's a pile of gold. It's a gold shore and a gold pool. Swimming in the riches and some more vegetated areas. I'm happy to see some vegetation, I will say, in the interior. It even looks like pretty neat vegetation to me. Besides the ugly bushes, I do have to point that out. They are ugly and ideally could be removed before this goes live, but that is just my personal vendetta against ugly bushes. I think LOTRO landscape really would, like, as a serious thing, I think it would look much better without those ugly bushes, but we'll set that aside. Continuing, that was the left path, the more vegetated path, and this is the right path. Oh, you can actually see it on the map. It looks vegetated. I wasn't quite sure what that was. It almost looked like a poisonous, like, swamp pool. Wow, lots of goats out here. It really feels like a dwarf place. They're all facing north, randomly. Yeah, north. Probably default orientation. There's a giant stack of hay there. So yeah, pretty big yards. A left and right yard for the kin house. If I go on decoration mode, you can see there's like enormous yard here. You can put a Dragok statue right in front of your house for some reason. Here's a doormat. And going inside the kin house, we can go... Oh, this looks just like a base house once again. This actually really... Not quite, actually. This room is a little bit smaller, and instead of the room continuing here, there's a wall and furniture, almost fireplace looking thing there. These are also two individual rooms on the left side. And then we have, into the bigger area, we actually have steps on the right. That is different than the deluxe house. And then we have a little hallway room. Oh, it actually opens up into a bigger room on the left. And then there is a room in the back with a little bit of a platform. This does not seem like a bedroom. This seems like a trophy room, like you'll hang your finest rating trophies or whatever in that room. Let's see. So we explored this floor. We can go down first. That's what I did with the other stuff. So I will go down in the kin house to the basement. There is an exit. I pretty much expected that this time. It's looking pretty similar to the first floor, but wow, lots of little small rooms. You really could hold a whole kin in this house if you wanted. This room's pretty big actually. It's kind of two rooms in one. That's pretty neat. Moving on. Oh yeah, we already looked at these. Okay, so let's actually go outside. This is another part of the yard. This is yard number 3, as I would consider it. It's a pretty big yard, and it is on a whole different level. It's on the lower level. And I believe you will be able to access it if we continue up here. For some reason, it's showing me as using my boar right now. Oh no, that was close. I don't think you could actually access this. This is a personal balcony type thing. You can have a nice overview of the bridge, see who's coming and going here. All right, so continuing on, I will go ahead and toggle off decoration mode as we head back up and do that little immersive run again. Well, it's really immersive if I don't know where I'm going. Okay, here are the steps. This is as far low as you can go. We are in the basement. So let's go ahead and go up to the second floor. Traveling up. This would be great exercise if your character actually needed it. Oh, there's some vegetation again. This also has some light shining through. That looks like a mirror, but I don't know what its light source would be unless it's something shining through above it. So there's a little room. Looks like a meeting type courtyard. Oh, this reminds me of the Court of Zaragoza, the final room in that when you fight the Bat Lady a little bit. I'm just like, that's all I'm thinking. So the upstairs isn't too much to say right home about, but there is an exit right here. This is going to be the kin balcony, top balcony, upper balcony, like balcony. And this one gives a wonderful view. Pools of gold, even a little bit of the bridge, your yard, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that is the kin house in the Erebor housing neighborhood. Just a little bit review of the map as I finish off here. We did explore everything. It was a little bit jagged and random. We went around in circles and the such and back and forth a little bit, and finally found like all the base homes and Wormhord Bridge, and then up a level Ironfoot Road and Oakenshield Way had the deluxe houses, and then there's the base plus house on the bottom left and the kin house on the top middle, and there's a bunch of town services and random things bottom left and bottom right here. Now, as far as this video goes, I hope y'all did enjoy seeing the housing neighborhood and enjoyed seeing just some of the footage, the exploration, my reaction to things, and just the entire video. It's really different for me and kind of a random video, but as we are getting into winter break, my videos will be sparse, especially with how unexpectedly busy I have been the past couple days, at least when recording this video, that I am happy to at least have one video at the start of the break. So yeah, that is where I will go ahead and leave this. And just as final thoughts, I definitely think this place is neat, and I think there will be people that are interested in it, but it is probably something you will have to have a taste for to actually want to live or have your house in LOTRO here. As far as this video goes, again, I hope you all enjoyed it and maybe learned something useful about Erebor housing, maybe. And if you did, please consider liking and subscribing for more, or becoming a channel member to support the content, and thanks for watching, everyone. Wait, you all didn't seriously think I could end this video without first jumping off a high dive, did you? Whee! And I somehow lived to tell the tale.